everyone watching on YouTube and listening on Spotify. It's another episode of NRG Insights and more specifically Masters of the Craft, which is where we speak to people at the top of their game. Not necessarily business owners in this one. It's all about really good brokers, really good leaders and people who are have something to offer the industry. So with that today, I've got Adrian Benjamin from Precise Protect. Thanks for joining me today, Adrian.
Thank you for having me on, Marcus.
No problem. So let's start. Talk to me about your financial services journey, how you got to where you are now.
Okay, so it's a bit long-winded. So I started off.
Short version.
Short version. Started off. I actually started doing work experience at NatWest when I was 20, in Manchester, where I'm originally from, and then I did a little bit of time in Barclays corporate, and then the following year I got an internship with the Mountbatten Institute, doing investment banking with UBS Swiss Bank in New York. So 2009, so kind of like mid-ends crash. Came back to Manchester, did recruitment like you, Marcus. I know about
Mugs game, isn't it? Mugs game.
Actually, recruitment would make good protection advice, but we could chat about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Then moved to Royal Bank of Scotland, corporate division, did invoice finance, and then I moved to London, worked for a lot of financial tech firms or fintech firms, and then I was a financial contractor. So a lot of the projects I did was financial risk. So when we had the crash of 2007, 2008, the Financial Conduct Authority said we have to separate the investment bank from the retail bank. So I was part of that project, which is, I think, one of the biggest projects in HSP history, over £1 billion on that.
Yeah.
And it couldn't fail because they would have got a massive fine. So I had a portfolio of companies all around the world. So China, Poland, France, America. And my job was basically say, look, we're going to change all your sort code and account numbers to this new ring-fence bank.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get a lot of pushback from CEOs saying, look, I don't want to do it. It's not the right time. Migration, if it goes wrong, can I pay my staff? All those hurdles you've got to jump through has really helped me for this role. After that, I got headhunted by the payments company Visa, which was amazing. They gave me a 240% increase. So all that hard work.
Hard to say no to that, isn't it?
Yeah, all that hard work paid off on their chargeback scheme. So if you use a credit card or debit card, it gets declined. There's loads of things that go in the background. So that was another project. Then I worked with Bloomberg, who are I think the biggest financial information company. So if you're an investment banker, a majority of the time you will use Bloomberg.
Yeah, pretty important.
That project was for KYC, Know Your Client. They had an online portal where they wanted asset managers, hedge funds, other banks to use it as well. So again, kind of with risk. And then I ended it off at Deloitte, working on HSBC, who is one of their top clients, and looking at all their projects globally.
How did that connect to life insurance? I know you were going to say. Sorry, I jumped.
Yeah.
How did that connect?
Yeah, so 2020 COVID hit, and I kind of got a bit of sick of contracting, and IR35 happened, where you can't really contract as easy as you could before. I had my own property company, and I wanted to do that full time, so I did more of that. Then I was like, I'm going to be a mortgage broker, so studied CMAP by myself, and then the insurance model, which is really small, and everyone forgets about, kind of interested me.
Really?
Because I'm thinking, if the end goal is to pass on all these assets, like, how about you get it set up at the beginning? I was just thinking, no one knows about insurance or protection. I've been in the bank, since I was 20 years old. No one's told me about the importance of it, of having a will, what a trust is. I kind of took it from there. So I cold called people on LinkedIn, like, look, I'll work for free. I just want to learn. Had a lot of no's. So again, with recruitment, I had loads of no's. One company said, "Yep, you come on. There's no risk. We'll help you out." And
Was it completely? You've literally just gone. I'll work for you. I'm not. I just want commission.
Yeah.
I shouldn't get too many no's with that. People are like, that's not good.
A lot, because my CVs, they don't really understand.
Yeah, they don't get it. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because the contracting stuff is a tough.
Because you see my CV, Mark, isn't it?
I've seen everyone's CV.
It doesn't really make sense to people, so it's kind of an automatic no. And the reason why I'm trying to do more on social media is just because someone's CV is different. That can be a positive thing. Even people at my companies, seeing people said, "Oh, we don't think he's going to pan out." And I think the reason I hear is like 12 months of hard work can really change everything. So when I came on, did loads of CPD. That's the bedrock of everything, is to keep learning. The products change, the providers change. Make sure you're on top of that, and make sure you do as much soft skills or sales skills as possible, and from that, it's just transformed over the last 12 months, really.
That's good. So talk about that transformation. What? I mean, obviously your hard work, that's transformed it and actually giving a shit and learning and getting better at it. But what else? What else have you done that's kind of brought you to the top of your game? Because you've done some stuff with is it Aviva that you've
A couple.
social media stuff?
Yeah, I'll get to that. So yeah, with social media, I was thinking, look, I've got no clients, pretty much. It's sporadic. I don't want to do the traditional way of selling to all your friends and family. Like, I want to be so good that my family will come to me.
Yeah.
And that has happened. So I'd never sell to my friends or family. They know what I do. So then I started doing videos because I didn't understand this stuff. And I, being an ex-recruiter, I understand the power of LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been very good to me. Like, that visa job came from me being on LinkedIn. So if you're not on it, like, you're missing out, basically.
Yeah.
And the videos were very short, like 30 minutes, 1 minute. What is a trust? What is critical illness? What is family and can benefit? And from the family and can benefit, I got a message from Adam Saville, who's the chief editor of Vitality, saying, look, we've been watching what you've been doing for months. Really like it. Can you help us with what? Yeah, Vitality. Yeah, so can you help us with our social media? So I'm like, Vitality are huge. Everyone, the general public, know who Vitality are. It was the 5 misconceptions of insurance, which I did. That went really well. And then other things happened. And then Cover Magazine messaged me as well, saying, look, we've been watching you on social media. Can we do an article on you being a rising star? And I talked about my journey getting here and how difficult it was, and a lot of people saying no, and I really cut my teeth in and put up with a lot to get here. And then
you deserve it as well. I was speaking to a chap yesterday, and he was saying the same thing about people trying to get into the industry, and they want to be $100,000 broker tomorrow. They've passed the qualifications, they don't understand why, but actually it's a hard graft, man. Like, you have to put in the hours, don't you? You have to accept that it's not going to be that from the beginning. And I think your story is like the epitome of that. I think that's why we got on, and I wanted to talk to you about it, because it's really, really relevant.
And it's not even social media. I was just so focused on this has to work, because I knew I didn't want to go back to the bank or do consulting. I enjoyed it. It's helped me in my career, but I'm like, look, I want to do something different. So I gave literally everything. So I would drive to Bournemouth. I'm based in London now.
Yeah.
I'd drive to Bournemouth, Bristol, Manchester, Leeds to speak, which is insane. Like, I wasn't guaranteed any leads. I'd just go and speak to a room, get no clients. Petrol was getting high.
Yeah, you don't know, like, the return on investment for the long term. It's huge.
I was like, I have to be out there and seen. So social media is one thing, doing videos, but when people see, oh, he's in Birmingham, oh, he's in Bristol, oh, he's like, they get to see more of your personality. Like, he's really doing this, he's really trying, and that builds the brand, which we'll get to a little bit later. So Cover Magazine, I've worked with them, and then later on in the year, they wanted to be a guest speaker at their annual conference, which was, I think, the biggest protection conference. So It just shows you can have no clients, no nothing, in 12 months, be on the panel. It's huge.
I think that's really relevant as well. How that 12 months is not a long time, but you go like flatline to the graph shoots straight up, and I think people stop before that. It hits it, I think there's too much of trying a little bit, not working. But like you just said before, you're the epitome of kind of perseverance in that.
Yeah, and it's any industry, not this. It's like, if you're going to be self-employed, and it's different kind of mindset. Like, you have to put in the energy and effort and see no results, and it is difficult. And I'll be honest with you, Marcus. Like, I was going to quit last year. Like, so this is a work anymore. I've tried. It hits. You're gonna hit the wall, and that's why I really want to help people, because you will hit the wall.
We call that the valley of despair, and it's just before the joy.
Yeah,
that valley of despair when you're like this. I genuinely think that's why so many businesses go under. That's why so many people fold. Is because that valley of despair is deep and hard, but the other side of it is the joy. And if you don't know about that, you don't know, like, it's nearly coming. It's nearly there. Too many people lose it in that bit.
Yeah, but with that point, like, it does hurt in any industry where you.
It's tough.
You'd hit that wall. It's financially as well, because it's like the money's not coming in. I can't pay my bills. I can't pay my mortgage. It's that stress that really hurts. And then,
it's not just a tough thing because it's hard. It's financially hard. Like, it's hard on your life. It's. I can understand why people. I'm not knocking people that knock it on the head as well. Like, it's a tough gig. If it was easy running businesses, being self-employed, everyone would do it.
And then your friends and family will say, "Get a real job. It's not a real job." How you,
if someone say that to me.
Yeah, if someone would have told me you'd have a job where you don't get any clients given to you and it's all commission, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, that's the dumbest thing you could ever do. but I was like, I have to try this. And then again with the social media bit, because it was actually gathering momentum. When I was going to quit, my friend said, you know, you can get another job, or, you know, it will pay you well, but you're always going to be thinking, what if that brand just stops? And I was like, from that conversation, I kept going. I got the Dr. Marinus Barnard Award from Scottish Widows, which was like, that was the kind of bit for me, like, oh wow, this actually is like big. Because at that ceremony, there were loads of people in the industry were there, like so many senior people. I don't even know who they are. People on the board, and execs.
I was like, I'm not sure who
they are. You know when you walk in a room and it's just full of senior people, and you're like,
Do you suffer from that? I know we always talk about it, and I know everyone does it. But imposter syndrome, when you do that, when you're surrounded by those people who have done it in corporates and stuff, or do you just think, no, I deserve this?
I'm actually kind of lucky. I don't suffer from imposter syndrome. I think from my background in the bank, like getting a job in investment banking from Manchester.
I had a good job before.
It's like, to me, that's like my like kind of superpower thing. Like that's damn near impossible. Like not anyone can replicate that. So when I'm in a room with anyone, it doesn't bother me. So even when we were at HSBC, that was such a big project. We had someone from the board come down and speak to us. So when he came, I'm not going to say his name, when you see senior managers, and we know how much they're on their day rate, running around scared, and you know, he comes down and says, look guys, like we really thank you for the work you're doing. They gave us all the pay rise, so they didn't want us to leave. He's like, look, this affects the share price, what you guys are doing.
Wow.
And when we press this
button,
pressure. He's like, when we press this button for the, you know, the IT systems to integrate, obviously there's a lot of people are scared and things go wrong. If it go, I was flying to Jamaica, I think the week after. He's like, if we press this button, it goes wrong, the whole world will know about it. If the general public find out that there's an issue, it's all...
Yeah, you know reputation, trust, all that.
So, HSBC threw a lot of money at that, and I was working with Accenture, so I got to work with one of the biggest consulting firms in the world, one of the banks in the world. So I'm getting two companies at the same time.
Yeah.
So with your question, I'm around senior people all the time, like even when I was at UBS, when you're speaking to global heads of things, and when I'm at Deloitte and speaking to senior partners about how much...
Maybe not so much senior people then, but you know when you're going to pick up awards?
Yeah.
And you think, you know, people have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even when people... Because you just do it day in, day out, you know? Like, it's not a weird thing for you to pick up the phone. It's not a weird thing for you to do social media. You're just doing what you do. So I always feel like people think, like, they assume everyone does it, and you don't know, like, how good you are.
But Marcus, I put in... So you know me, right? We've spoken quite a lot over the years. I work so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I deserve it. I don't something like, no, I've earned this, and people can see the graph. So with the social media bit, it is a snowball effect. It would be months and months of nothing. I'll post no comments, no likes, but you'll get a direct message. And I think a lot of people fall in love with the vanity of, you know, the algorithm. You got to comment with people and message, which is true. But I will always tell people, have you got paid off it?
Yeah, do you know what? It's so funny about the return on investment, because I speak to people and go, they get so many likes and stuff. And I'm like, cool, have you got any business from it? Because all of my clients come from DMs that they send me that aren't liking my stuff. It's never people that engage with me. So yeah, it is vanity, and I'm a sucker for it as well. I love looking at how many people have engaged with my stuff, and if someone thinks it's funny and that kind of thing. You know, everyone does it, and I think bullshit if you think I don't care, because it's just natural to you know, we've all got a little bit of an ego. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. We'd be going to work for someone, but it's not a tangible return on investment, likes and stuff. It's just a nice dopamine hit.
Correct, yeah, but for me, it's always been creating the brand and to get the industry supporting me and encouraging me to do more. So I've been on Legal & General's podcast, I think not last year, the year before, about social media and how to do it in a compliant way, because I know you've got, you know, different advisors of different firms and networks where they might not be encouraged to do it.
How have you found that out of interest? Because there's some real sticky networks where they're like, you know, 48 hours to get, and social media is so reactive. How you know, it's hard to kind of explain. I mean, these dinosaurs need to change, but how have you found that?
I've experienced it as well, but I don't feel it's fair that someone self-employed, you're not helping them with marketing, you're not giving them any money, and you're telling them you can't market.
You can't do that.
You don't have a business. And I got annoyed where, like, my career is you know, that risk compliance piece of HSBC is the biggest project in financial industry in the UK. And you're going to tell me why I cannot post? Like, so I'm not being rude. Like, I got annoyed about that.
I also think there's an element of like treating people like grown-ups. Like, we get it. I'm not going to tell everyone I've got a special product that no one else has got. that that it's going to be it's record beating, that kind of thing. I'm not an idiot. You have to respect I'm not an idiot because I'm in your network.
Yeah, and I did a video once, and I joked around it. You got to get your personality out. I mean, come on, life insurance is boring. Let's be honest, right? I'm trying to be interesting. I got a client from that. Like, we got paid on that. We both, the network, I got paid.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing it because it's engaging.
Yeah, and then you're saying, oh, I need to check it. But if it's a hot topic, I can't. You've got to be the first one out there, and they don't understand that, and that's where they're really missing out on that. So, for getting all the recognition from the industry, from Cover, from Vitality, Legal in General, and getting an award from Scottish Widows, who are part of the Lloyds Bank, who again a bank, so it can't get more compliant and whatever.
Yeah.
That's when I got that Dr. Baroness Marnold Award for social media. I was like, okay, now I've arrived now.
I can say what I want.
No.
I'm joking.
But my stuff is very vanilla. Like, I don't step on no one's toes. It's very like, this is what a trust is.
Have you had any trolls yet, Adrian? Have you not made it yet? Because I haven't had any yet. I'm waiting for someone to just constantly just pick on me.
I haven't had any trolls yet because my stuff is probably too boring for that.
That's what I say. I'm not controversial enough. I just talk about mortgages and insurance.
I know there's a couple of people in our industry that are controversial. I'm not going to say any names, but that's not my brand. Like,
yeah,
I'm
you're an educator, aren't you? You're not.
Yeah, it's awareness. Like, I don't sell, I don't talk about this provider is this is this. I don't ever talk about price. It's just very, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's compliant. And that's where now I've had so many people message me saying, can you help me with social media? Can you help me with sales techniques? Like, now I'm like, okay, fine, I will, like, train up and mentor people. Because, like I said, those 12 months went from I'm going to quit to it's snowballed to now. I spoke at a financial planners conference last month. That was online. There were hundreds of people there. So now when I speak about financial protection, about the UK, people from America, South Africa, like, it's now global. So it went from here last year, which was cool, the awards. Now it's gone international.
That's
now
amazing. And that's genuinely amazing. I think it's incredible when you think. I honestly think when we get a fair amount of brokers watching this and get it posted to them, that kind of thing. And I think some people think, like, the graft isn't real, if something for 3 months doesn't work and that kind of thing, and I've just got to keep, but the plugging away bit is really important, not knowing that just around the corner is a rocket if you just keep going. I think, like I said before, people stop too quickly. People don't think it's going to work, or if it doesn't have that ROI in it in the first week, we'll try something else. Just got to persevere, haven't you?
I've suffered from that as well. I was like, okay, first year I've got to make my financial contractor money back in a year, which is just unrealistic, it's a bit dumb. So now it's like, okay, just be consistent, work hard, and the money will come. I also feel I'm happy with my career as well, but you're thinking, how much money do I get? How much money do I get?
Well, interesting enough, does that come into play? Because you can be top of your game and not earning anything enough. Do you set your goals on? Is money a result of what you're doing, or do you have to look at? Are you trying to earn the money? Do you know what I mean? Is it what's your goal? Is it to be or to be the most well known, or to make the most money? You know what I mean?
It's reverse now. It's not about the money. So my career is number one. I'm passionate about business. I'm passionate about finance, and the reason why I'm doing this, I felt I couldn't do any more for my career what I did before, right? And investment banking, that's where the money's at, right?
Yeah, of course. Just investment banking.
You know what I mean? So I've had that experience. I've been around traders. I know how much they earn, like the bonuses and that environment. And, I've been hanging out on Wall Street. I've worked in the city. I've worked at Canary Wharf. I've done all that. But I hated the job. I hated the culture. This job, I'm allowed to be myself. And the point about networks, if you allow brokers to have a personality, everybody wins as long as it's compliant. So I wouldn't go back to the bank. Like,
really? What do you think what do you think the problem is with that networks? Because me personally, I just think they think of old man mortgage advisor with a grey suit on, and they can't really get the concept of how we have to do business now. But what's your opinion on it?
It's madness, and I've been a network where I made more revenue in like 3 months than I did in a whole year. With no leads and no expense. Like, you're not helping me. I've just done it off my own back.
Just do it. Yeah.
It works. All these are like, everyone says all the awards I won from my company being top advisor of the month, the quarter, the year, like that's when it kind of hit me as well. Last year when I won advisor of the year, we got 200 brokers where I work, and I'm number one. My CEO gave that out, and I'm like, oh wow, like he didn't have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
That's nice.
Like, really, you're giving it to me? Because I thought I was gonna win best newcomer, because I don't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the industry like 18 months. I thought I'm gunning for that, the best newcomer. When I got
Gotta be.
overall advisor, where people have been doing this job, I'm not being rude, longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, yeah.
So their black book is just ridiculous. Like they make, they make
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. I just
So I
continue.
just assumed I wouldn't get that, but when he gave me like, nah, you're the best advisor overall, I was like, again, like that helps your confidence. When you have more confidence, you get better. Your clients can see that, they see the recognition, and it snowballs. So, like I said before, if anyone wants me to help them with protection or social media, I'm going to do it now, because it helps. You need a little bit of guidance, and I know with some.
Let's talk about that actually, about you mentioned in confidence, because there are lots of people who just think it comes easy to you. I don't know if it does come easy to you, actually. It doesn't to me, but people seem to think that everyone else is super confident and they're the only ones that show away from the camera. What advice can you give to someone who's on the edge of, they know they need to do social media, but they haven't done it yet? What do you need to, what do they need to give that push?
Need a mentor in anything. Like I'm a basketball player, so I'm always gonna be with the best player who's older than me. Like, what do you train? Like, what do you eat? What's your routine? Even brokers, like, what time do you get up? Like, who do you research? Who do you put your business with? What I'm always learning. It doesn't stop. And it was actually, I was with Vitality at the Cover Awards last year, and it was Matt Chapman, who is absolutely smashing it on social media with the protection coach. He's like, you need to do it. I was like, me? He's like, no, you need to train people. I'm like, I was like, I don't feel confident.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's now like been a year. I'm like, okay, like I can do this now, like step by step. And I'm not being bad. Like sometimes you have coaches in our profession, like they did it 20, 30 years ago. Like,
it's a different world. We were talking about this the other day about getting people into the business who have successfully bought and sold their businesses. But if you did it 10 years ago, you wouldn't have even used LinkedIn. So we're not the same business. You can't tell me like business development is different now than it was 6 years ago. It's so different. So it's to get new faces in. I think is really important rather than old coaching.
Yeah, I know that technique is scaring people. If your husband dies, I don't.
What are you gonna do?
I don't do the scare thing. I'm like, look, if you like, for example, when you go to a dentist, you don't want to be there. It's expensive, but you know you got to be there. Same thing with life insurance. If we're having a call, you know what I do. You know what life insurance is. How much does it cost and what the other product. That's it. So I don't do the emotional stuff, and I think clients like and respect that. Where I've seen other people, they try and scare people. I don't do that.
I think there has to be a level of it. Like, if you mention my children when I'm buying life insurance, that registers with me that I'd want to leave them with something. So I think there is an emotion to it, but I don't think it's that old school. What they're going to do when you die, when they're sat at the side of the grave and you're got money. I know what you mean. There's a level of it in there that was used to be a bit that scare cell.
But I also feel it's getting your personality across, because the way I look at it, when I first came in, I'm like, there are thousands of brokers. Again, I'm competing against mortgage brokers as well, not just protection.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So
we'll cross that actually about the people cross-selling. But
there are thousands. Like, how can I be the best? And to answer your question, it's graft. I'll do 7 till 9 in the morning, just CPD. I'll go on the provider's website, just learn and learn and learn. I'll ring the BDMs. I just want to get better, and they understand that. And from me doing that, even from social media, like providers have said, "Oh, I didn't know you were struggling, being on hold. Like we'll help you with this, or you're doing more relevant life now. I saw you on the Legal General podcast. We offer this product where you don't need any financial underwriting. All these little things. They're reaching out to me. So
do you think that's maybe why you are stepping over those guys who've been doing it so long? Because you don't know what you don't know, and when you do get to a certain level of what's it called? It's unconsciously competent, where unconsciously incompetent again. So you go back around the circle because all of a sudden you think you know everything, and then the world changes, and you're still selling because that's how you sold. So do you think that's why you maybe are getting that step above people, because you're fresh and you? I suppose you have to be conscious of that as you get better as well.
I actually care, and clients see that, and I think that's, like I said, I'm up against thousands of people. Every day, like I actually genuinely, I'm not saying that people don't, but they can really see it. Like, oh my god, you're there,
100%.
You're networking. Yeah,
go on, sorry, mate.
It's the know, like, and trust. So it's a bit cliche, and that's why I don't understand why people don't want social media. Like, you've had Katie Dennehy on it, who's Underwrite Me, who's amazing, and Underwrite Me is an amazing product. She, same thing, was nervous and scared of social media. Now she's killed it, and she's winning awards too. So it's once you get over the barrier of fear in anything, then you can do it. Me, I felt I don't have a choice. I've got no money coming in. am I going to lose my?
That's the wonderful fear. The fear of not paying your mortgage beats the fear of not going on social media.
I got to do so. I'm gonna shoot this video. Some of the videos I look back on are not very good. They're not really clear. I don't care. Though sometimes the videos I've got the biggest response, it's just been off the cuff.
Yeah.
Like I remember I did one walking where I lived. I just put it out, and that got loads of engagement. And the one I've been planning for ages.
But I don't plan any of mine because it's so reactive. Someone says something, I think, oh, people will care about that. Yeah. And then I never read them back either because it's always like and I repeat myself 10 times because that's naturally I make sure I've got the point across.
Yeah, but it's make sure, are you a genuine person? So with the training that I'm doing, there's online and offline. So we're online because obviously on podcast. But when you meet people in person, that's a whole different ball game, and you have to be competent at both. So I love going out networking. I was at Gaucho yesterday with a mortgage broking firm. That's cool. You chat, but that's very time consuming. Online, I'm global now, like legit from a branding perspective, and I consult now. I never would have thought of that 12 months ago. That's the power of social media.
I do love that face-to-face stuff, though. I just think I'm doing it again later, and I do it a couple of days a week. I think there's something to be said because I do think people, as long as you are the same character online as you are offline, you know, it's like you say, it's a personal brand, as cheesy as it is. You can't be sound online and then be a dickhead when someone meets you. You know, you got to be. Right.
And you got to put that ground in our industry. You know, drinking. I've put the pints in. I've put the bottles in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm at the events. I'm out tomorrow all day. Like, it's a part of the game. And if you don't, you can be successful or not do it. Let's say there are some brokers that buy leads. I don't agree with that because it's not good quality. They probably sold it to someone else, and that client isn't loyal.
I've always been the same as you about the leads thing. I've seen a couple recently that I quite like because it's how you deal with the lead long term. I think is what people have made the mistake of, rather than that transactional. It costs a tenner, I make 4, you know, or I make 40, and just keep the. But there's pros and cons to it. But I agree. I've always been anti it, but I'm starting to change my mind when it comes to relationship management.
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of people and saying they're spending thousands each month. I'm like, you're behind already. You're self-employed. Then if you don't hit target, you're behind for your company. It's a lot of pressure. Those clients, I'm not being funny, a lot of them, it's the cheapest. And if someone is 2PG, they're going to move. There's no loyalty to you.
Yeah, but you know what? About those cheap ones, like, you kind of deserve it. If you buy the cheapest lead, you get the cheapest client, then you can't moan about it. I think
even if it's expensive, it's still been moved around. There's still brokers that I've spoken to, because when you ring them, like, oh, you're the 10th broker I've spoken today. Like, they don't care about you, and you're chasing them. Where if you're online, people reach out to me. It's completely different. Oh, I've seen you here, or and they probably have, or just because I'm online, I'm in person. I'm at the same events they're at. I know the same people they know.
Interestingly enough, sorry to interrupt again. I'm a nightmare for that. Apologies, but just thinking about it. If you get all your business from online, if you said to someone, I will give you 3,000 quid this month, which is what they pay for leads, if you post a video every other day, they would do it because you see that tangible 3,000 quid in your hand. That's what it doesn't cost you to not buy leads. You can't see they can't see the connection there. You would have to actually go, look, here's 3 grand in your hand, post a video, as opposed to going, if you keep posting videos, you won't have to pay that 3,000 quid for your leads.
And that's the reason why, like I said, I've come out now. So look, I will, if people want help and stuff, I've organised a training course to help them one-to-one, because it's from nothing. I've done it all organically. No one's told me what to do. I haven't had a mentor or a coach. I've just done it, and it's just happened. And now it's like I've really separated myself from everybody else. And even now, I'm on everyone's podcast. So I've taken that next step. Forever. Do you know what I mean? But to get on the podcast, you have to be good, or else they're not going to.
Yeah, no one wants to hear what you're saying if they don't know who you are. You know?
Exactly. And I've got the saying, like, you know, you've heard the saying, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a noise? Debatable.
Yeah.
If you're not on social media, do you actually exist as a business?
You're not making a noise, exactly. Yeah, and some people say you won't need it, but you know, I always think it's an excuse. You know, people go, "This is why I don't do it." Time. I don't think people respect it. Blah 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 blah. And I know. All good people know there has to be some sort of strategy behind your social media. It has to be relevant, has to be educating. You have to stand out. You have to be trusting, and at the same time, you have to show personality. So, but even that is a tough gig to keep up. But it's tangible in regards to how much money you make.
If you look at our industry, Carla Edwards is amazing. She started off dressing up, joking around.
Yeah. If you speak Carla Edwards, you think Wonder Woman.
She is like top of the game. Like I've met her. I was like, you're amazing. Like the work you've done, and she's now got a business. She's got loads of women working for her. It's diverse. Like she's amazing. You know, Matthew Chapman is amazing with the tips he puts on LinkedIn to help people. You know, he does what he does. I do what I do. Lee Flanagan's doing bespoke. He's doing his thing. Respect to him. He's got a massive team. He's doing really well. The thing Robin Allen as well, Nina Brown. The thing we all have in common is we put ourselves out there. And when I was going to say,
every single person you there, I know. And so if I know them, everyone else that lurks around on LinkedIn. And it's not just the posters that are on there. There's 95% of people that don't post. So there are a phenomenal amount of people that know all of those names for that very reason.
And when we all meet, so like, dude, I hate the social media. It's long, it's a chore. But you've got to look at the reward at the end of it. And like I said, 12 months ago, I never would have thought I'd be speaking at an international conference. I never thought I'd be, getting paid to talk and stuff. And now it's happening. And I was like, wow. And it's all because I'm doing things that a lot of people aren't doing. And two, I'm very good at what I do also. So it's both.
Oh, yeah, you have to have the delivery as well. You can't probably cheat your job. People seem to forget that. I think I posted about that the other week about mortgage brokers saying, by the way, you have to be really good at this. I kind of neglected the fact. I just assume you are good. Like you actually have to be good at your job too, because otherwise leads are zero. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you get them from. If you buy them, get them from social media, you've got to be bloody brilliant as well. And back delivery.
It's all about confidence. I'm like, look, if you do this, we'll shoot the video like this. We'll do this. What is your brand? And I'm there to help you and support you. So, example, I love the gym. During COVID, I put on loads of weight. I was so fat, dude. I was baking and every day. I wasn't happy with myself. The gyms were shut. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a personal trainer. I always thought personal trainers is the biggest waste of money ever.
Do you know what? I was the same. I did 20 years in the gym and then I got a personal trainer and I got how I wanted to look like.
It's ridiculous. It's night and day because you obviously go gym and you were happy, but when they tell you, like, do this or your rep is this, right? Like, little... You know what you're doing anyway, and you get the results. I lost the stone in like 8 to 9 weeks, and I put it on social media too. There's a picture of me fat and bloated, and then there's one of me a little.
I got those before and after COVID.
And also with that, it shows you're a real person because again, I'm up against thousands of mortgage brokers, okay, and protection people. Who are you as a person? And that's what people get. Social is the first bit of social media. If you look at my stuff, some people don't like it. Like, oh my god, you're putting pictures, you're on holiday. People want to know that stuff.
Yeah. Also, if you don't like it, fuck off. Like, just scroll on.
But when you speak to clients and stuff like, oh, you're in Jamaica, how was it? Oh, it was good. We stayed at this hotel. We did. Oh, you're a real person. Oh, by the way, can you do my life insurance?
You've broken down that barrier of the trusting. Like a cold call. They don't know you. Don't know anything about you. They don't know your personality. They don't particularly like you because everyone goes to that guarded and trying to take something from me. You've broken down that initial thing that used to be the hardest part of sales was building a trust. You've done it without speaking directly to the person.
And they want to know what I do. Like, if I'm out, I'll put where I'm going. Like, I like holidays, and clients are taking me. I got invited to Wimbledon last year, the women's final, because I did a good job.
Yeah.
And that post went viral for me. Like, everyone was, oh my god, you're in, but it's because I'm good at my job.
Yeah.
Like that's.
And you get to enjoy that success. Yeah, and no one's knocking people for celebrating their wins for being good at a job, exactly. as you should. There's enough people boasting when they're not good.
Yeah, and I got invited to Bentley in Mayfair when they brought out the new Bentayga, the new 4x4.
Wow.
Which costs like 250,000 like minimum. I got invited
to one?
That. I was my name's on the list in like 40 years. But,
I drive a Fiat 500, so I could put one in the boot.
Yeah. But it's the fact I got invited. Like, he's like, Adrian, like, I like you, you work hard. He wasn't even a client. No, we spoke, but he's not a client. He invited me. I met his friend, and his friend, was a potential. He's got a heart condition, but the point is, I'm put in those rooms that only select few or go in. And again,
that's really important. I hope people pick up on that as well. It's getting yourself in that room. Not everyone's going to be a client. Not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone's your people. But you've got to get yourself up there. You've got to get yourself in the room in front of people.
And again, I know I've said this 1,000 times, but hard work, which is I want to be great at my craft, which is ringing all the providers, understand the products inside out, being the best I can with clients. People see that. Like when I see clients, they're like, I see you everywhere. Like it's the first thing and I'm like, good. That means I've done enough. It's like when you go gym, right? If you're not sore, you've not pushed yourself properly.
Yeah. It's pointless. If everyone goes, no, I've never heard of you before. Oh, I actually find it a little bit bashing of the ego when they go, You've probably seen me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. But
Oh, funny.
again, shout out to Carl Edwards. She's got a legitimate business from social media. Just
Genuine,
going
yeah,
around.
mate. It's incredible. And she was, yeah, it was a bit, kind of, she did the jokey stuff and that kind of thing, and it all. But that was her personality as well. I don't even think that was a strategy at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? I just think that's her personality, and she's very good at what she does. And I think that, those two things together, putting yourself out there is a harder thing, because everyone's got an ego when it comes to getting knocked for. Oh, someone might think you're a dickhead. Who cares? That's not your people. It really doesn't matter. You just the people that it resonates with are your people that you want to sell to anyway. Because I don't want to work with people that don't like me. It's not fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really useful. I mean, I've kept you for long enough. I ask everyone this, but you've kind of just answered it really succinctly. But if you have to speak to someone now that's ready to go, I mean, obviously, we are going to put all your stuff on the socials and make sure that people can contact you, because I think it's really useful, guys. But if someone is a young broker now and they want to do it, but they don't know where to start, what's the one tip that you can give someone about getting themselves out there that you think will be beneficial?
DM me. I'm starting my training program. I'll show you everything. But you got to put the work in. It does not happen overnight. I'm not going to say you're going to earn 100k doing this, or you're going to be speaking all these events overnight. Like, it's craft, mate. But again, with the personal trainer thing that we both spoke about, once you do have someone telling you do this and do that and holding you accountable, because it's so easy to, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm tired. But someone's like, no, you need to do this. The reason why personal trainers work as well, you put your money up. You put that money up.
I'm not committed. I'm going to do it. Yeah.
it's those little things, because at the end of the day, when lockdown happened, everyone had access to YouTube.
It's funny. It's funny, isn't it? Someone gives you free advice. I could probably find my training plan on YouTube, like you say.
Yeah.
I follow that guy because I've given him a wanna, and it's going to happen. And I give that to him every week, and then he asks me for a photo of myself, so it keeps me accountable. So I'm going to do it. Like you say, exactly the same as any kind of marketing, any kind of coaching. Makes sense. Got to put your hand in your pocket, and it's worth it. The return on investment's massive.
And like you said before, I'm doing this day in, day out. It's not like I did this 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Not like I am doing it, because of social media, and I've done it all by myself.
And so close as well. You'd be like, you're me 12, 18 months ago. You can relate. That makes sense. Yep. So I mean, obviously we'll put it all on the socials, but how can people get hold of you, Adrian, if they want to speak to you?
LinkedIn, Adrian Benjamin CMAT. Instagram is Adrian B Finance. So all my videos are there, and I literally document everything from the first day.
Good.
Everything is there. Every event, what I do. Like, I don't have any secrets. Like, if people say you want to see the journey, go on the Instagram. It's there. All my videos are on YouTube, Adrian B Finance, Facebook, Adrian B Finance. I think they're the main ones.
They're the ones. Cool. Yeah, they will all be on our Spotify and on our YouTube anyway. But that's been amazing, Adrian. Genuinely, really, really helpful. I hope people get a lot from it. It is the number one thing, like you just said. You've got to work really hard. Really hard, get really good at it, and then make sure people know you're really good at it by getting yourself out there. But
the thing, just before I go,
yeah, of course, mate.
It is hard. It is a graft, but if you just say, look, I'm gonna give everything for 1 year, 3 years. I'm in 5 years. So for me, I said I wouldn't really look at myself till the end of this year, like how I'm traveling and I've grown, and then 5 years, and then 8, and then 10. It's crazy. Like, even with recruitment, if you really work hard in recruitment, similar things. That's why I think recruitment brokers, recruitment consultants would be great at mortgage and protection. Yeah, because you got to sell twice. Yeah, it's hard. It's like they're both different types of hard.
Yeah. And you've got two products. One runs away, one disappears.
Yeah, and people don't even see that. They see, it's bank and all that, but no, it's recruitment where I learned about LinkedIn. It's recruitment where I learned to cold calls. Recruitment where I learned all these things that people don't necessarily talk about in this industry. What you need. Yeah. So I'm telling them stuff from a recruitment perspective. Like, no, you need to do this. How are you not on it? And this is what you need to say. I think that's the main thing. I think we get so fascinated of where do you get your leads from. It's not where do you get leads from, it's what are you saying.
What are you doing? Yeah, what you saying, yeah.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing, because how you position stuff, if you say the wrong thing, you've lost the client. And they're not going to tell you why it's a no. So you need to really figure that out. And now I know what I'm doing. I've got my flow, I've got my pitch. I know exactly bang, 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 bang. When I first started out, I didn't sell income protection because it was really expensive. Now I understand how to sell income protection. I do it until the age of 67 or 70 till retire, and it's fully comprehensive. Before I wouldn't do it because it's going to be expensive. Now I know what to say.
You understand the value, I suppose, and you get it, and you can explain the value, which is that is a tried and tested, and that is just a knowledge. That does take time to be able to learn to explain the value of something. So that's cool. That's amazing. That's really useful, Adrian. I'm really pleased you came on, actually. So Everyone listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube, thank you very much. If you've got any questions for Adrian, or you can always drop me a DM as well if you need to. But all the Adrian's socials will be on the below the video and on Spotify. And I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers, Adrian.
Okay, thanks a lot, Marcus.
Thanks, mate. Bye bye.